modding scenes as dedicated or impressive as Doom's. For a game that is almost 30 years old, it seems like we're only scratching the surface of what people can do with the engine. And for new players, it must seem like it's a treasure trove just waiting to be explored. Total conversion mods, horror mods, multiplayer and co-op mods, platforming mods, slaughter wads, or whatever this is. There's no shortage of what Doom's amazing community has to offer. I've been playing custom Doom WADs since the 90s, and since then I've come across a few WADs that I feel like really stand out to me. So without further ado, I'm Barley, and here are 10 of my favorite WADs in no particular order. Also, we're not including WADs that exclusively change gameplay, so sorry Brutal Doom, you know I love you. Starting out this list is Eviternity, a massive mega-wad project spearheaded by Joshua Dragonfly O'Sullivan. And honestly, Eviternity brings a lot to the table. There's 6 different map themes, each with 5 levels: Gothic, Tech, Ice, Toxic, Hell, and Heaven, as well as 2 secret levels each with their own themes. Fair warning though, I do like to play my maps without quick loading, and some of the later levels get pretty unforgiving and almost slaughtery, sometimes dipping into being more frustrating than fun. That said, the quality is off the charts with this map set, with a few really standout maps by guest mappers like Saturn X, Storm Chaser 77, and Akira. Especially Akira because holy crap, map 32 is insane. So if you're looking for a good old-fashioned yet high-quality Doom WAD, then look no farther, because Eviternity is definitely going to scratch that itch for you. Knee-Deep in Z-Doom is an ambitious project headed by Daniel Gimmer, or as he's probably more well known by, Tormentor 667. The goal of Knee-Deep in Z-Doom was to update and modernize the original episode 1 of the Ultimate Doom. And as you progress through the 10-map WAD, you'll start to catch areas and recognize familiar territory. It's insane how different yet how true to the original levels this map set is. One of the standout levels to me is map 3, which now has this sprawling underground area which encourages open-ended exploration of the level. It's a great example of the gameplay design choices that were made for this WAD that not just makes it a pretty map set, but also a fun and reinvigorating one as well. While this WAD turns a whopping 13 years old this year, I still think it stands up with the best of them and earns a definite recommend from me. All right, look, I know what you're thinking, and yes, this is in fact Doom. This wouldn't be the first time this Doom mod was actually mentioned on my channel. In fact, it was just under 7 years ago, almost to this day, that I was fanboying over Total Chaos. Created by Wadaholic, who actually did the video effects in my first 3 Barley videos, Total Chaos is possibly the most visually ambitious thing that ever happened to Doom. Inspired by survival horror games of old, Wadaholic set out to take the engine to new levels. And it's not just a pretty game either, as it's quite fun and has some pretty creepy moments. The gameplay is open-ended with a hub-level design and crafting system, encouraging branching out and exploration. Don't get too comfortable though, as the world is filled with creepy monsters waiting for you around every corner. I definitely recommend Total Chaos if you're looking for a different kind of Doom experience, but be warned, this one won't be running on your Pentium 486. With an officially supported PC release of Doom 64 coming up, it would be a crime not to mention the hard work that was put into Doom 64 EX. In fact, I'm positive that a lot of people today would have never gotten to experience this absolute gem if it were not for Kaiser and his ambitious port. Putting my own fanboyism aside for Doom 64, I highly recommend checking this PC port out if you haven't already. It's an almost forgotten classic that many overlook due to, well, the controls. Well, let's be honest, the controller wasn't fantastic, and it definitely wasn't designed for Doom, which is why EX was so important for Doom 64's legacy. It finally allowed everyone to play Doom 64 the way it was meant to be played. Monitor, keyboard, and mouse, depending on who you ask. And if it wasn't for Kaiser's hard work, Doom 64 might not have ever gotten the recognition it so rightfully deserves. UAC Ultra. Going back to some of the more traditional Doom mods, UAC Ultra is a short and sweet map set with custom textures and even some bosses. I can't really put my finger on why I like this Doom mod so much other than just, it's fun. It's well designed, well balanced, the levels are aesthetically pleasing, but also fun to play. I've gone back to this WOD multiple times over the last 10 years and I still feel like it holds up today. Apparently WOD creator 40 Ounce is currently working on a sequel to UAC Ultra that hopefully we'll get to see in the near future. But until then, definitely check out this 2010 WOD for some quick jump in and out action. Next up, we have Unloved, which is a dark themed map set that combines creepy atmosphere and claustrophobic maps with Doom's fast-paced gameplay. The WOD takes place in your house. That's right, your house. Which serves as a level hub, which slowly opens up more rooms as you progress through the mod. I've always felt like this is one of the most memorable level hubs in a Doom map set maybe ever. The levels range from being claustrophobic with an almost survival horror level of resource balancing, to crazy arena slaughter fights as you get further in. Though you might find yourself getting lost while backtracking once you have to revisit the earlier levels. Most of Unloved's new textures, enemies, and music are borrowed from other horror games and movies, and yet Unloved feels very much like a unique and enjoyable experience. I definitely recommend Unloved for anyone looking for a great Doom map set, especially if you're a fan of horror. What happens when you mix Wolfenstein with Doom? Actually, that already exists. They put Wolfenstein in Doom at one point, but all right, theoretically, pretend like that didn't happen. Say hello to Blade of Agony, which is so much more than just a Wolfenstein Doom crossover. With currently 2 full chapters released and an upcoming 3rd and final chapter, Wolfen Doom sends you into unique self-enclosed missions with varying objectives. The combat is quick and decisive with a somewhat tactical feel. While you explore the levels, you'll be completing side objectives and scrounging for ammo and treasure. Between each mission, you'll return to your base, which serves as a hub. This is where you can spend your hard-earned treasure and talk to NPCs. It has that Carrington Institute feel from Perfect Dark. While visually not as mind-blowing as something like Total Chaos, the amount of work and polish put into this mod is incredible, and it feels like a true love letter to the series, and a must-play for any fan of Doom or Wolfenstein. Mach 2 The Speed is Stupid. Mach 2 The Speed is Stupid is a 2003 WOD that, alright, I'm joking. Back to Saturn X is a massive series project spearheaded by Sarah Mancuso. And yeah, I'm kinda cheating here because this is technically 2 separate WODs. There's 2 episodes, and they contain a combined 54 levels of expertly designed and well-paced maps created by a huge range of level designers. It's a great example of what happens when the Doom modding community comes together. It's also a surprisingly minimalistic WOD as it can run on vanilla DUUM 2 without the use of a modern source port, which is kind of a rarity nowadays. And yet, even with these limitations, Back to Saturn X is overflowing with gorgeously crafted levels complete with original textures, color palette, and music. So if you're looking for more classic Doom but added with a bit more flavor to your experience, definitely check out Back to Saturn X. Ghouls Forest 3. Any Spike and Barley fan will immediately recognize this 2007 horror WOD by Cutman Mike. The map premise is fairly simple. You play as a brave unnamed hero whose goal is to purify the evil and haunted Ghouls Forest. When you start, you're treated to a cozy campfire, but it isn't long before the fire goes out and you're about to meet one of the residents of the Ghouls Forest. Will it be the silent creeper, the unnerving jitterbones, or the loud and terrifying Jajas? I don't know how to say that. The forest is fairly big and there's some nice Easter eggs to find, such as a lighter to help you find your way, WOD creator Cutman Mike's head in a grave, or this muddy swamp that got me killed running from the creeper. And if you kill all 3 ghouls, you're treated to one last ghoul, but I won't spoil what happens with that one. You'll have to find out yourself in Ghouls Forest 3. The final game on my list might be my favorite Doom wad I've ever played. Doom the Golden Souls 2 by Batondi is a sequel to the aptly named, well, the Golden Souls. Taking major inspiration from Super Mario World, the Golden Souls 2 features a fully fleshed out world map with secret exits, boss castles, switch palaces, tons of collectibles, the list goes on. So much love and care went into this beautifully crafted total conversion mod, and it honestly shows in each and every corner. It took me over 20 hours to 100% complete the Golden Souls 2, and for a free Doom wad, that's a lot of content. That's the length of some of the earlier Final Fantasy games. So, if you like 3D platforming, fun weapons and enemies, and love classic Super Mario World type exploration and open-ended progression, do yourself a favor and check out this fantastic Doom wad by Batondi. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my early Patreon supporters who make content like this possible. And if you'd like to support videos like this as well as my streams on Twitch, head on over to my Patreon, which I'll include in the description below. I've also included a link to my Discord, so come hang out with us. We're cozy. And if you feel like I missed a really good choice for this wad list, don't worry, because I'm probably gonna make a sequel to this video in the future. Because let's be honest, you can't just narrow it down to 10. Anyway guys, take care, and until next time.